information. Manpit TV, aka me TV, aka I believe I said this before, I'm not sure, but I love it when a plan comes together, man. I'm telling you, what happened on Wednesday, whew, that was a thing of beauty. Now, guys, I want to say thank you for watching the show. Thank you for sending me information. Today's show is brought to you by RPG Maker. That's right. This was a first day buy. I got a story to tell, man. This is a first day buy for me. Look, for those in Philly who know, I was out at the gallery. Y'all know where the gallery's at, right? And there's a GameStop there. This is the first time I bought it, you know, when it came out. So you can tell how old this is, all right? Now, I want to say this. I understand the PC version's a lot better. No one's denying that, okay? But I go in there, right? And tell the guy, you know, get the game, want him to ring it up for me. You know, cashier comes out of nowhere and says, "This game sucks. You shouldn't buy it. You should be ashamed of yourself for buying it." Really? Really? You feel that strongly about this? Is that what you do? Now look, in response, I had said to him, you know, I don't recall asking you for your opinion. I really don't. And he goes on to say, well, I have the best IQ here when it comes to games, and I'm like, stop. Stop right there, all right? No one asked you all that. Just ring the game up. I don't need to get into this argument with you. What's wrong with you? Just ring it up, monkey. That's all you got to do. I mean, seriously. And here's the sad part. This is what I'm telling you. Because a couple days ago, I was down in the gallery. Now, like I said, this game is very old, all right? You can PlayStation 1 first day buy, very old. Went down into the gallery, right? Walked by GameStop. Looked in. I didn't go in. Just looked in. The same guy that was talking to me that day is still there in the same position. He didn't move up in any managerial position or anything. No, 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 no. He's still ringing up games. That's sad. People, understand. That arrogance will get you nowhere in life. It won't. Like I said, confidence, okay. No one's saying anything about that. All right, but when you don't know how to talk to people, you want to treat people over something that all you have to do is ring it up. That's all you got to do. And one of the easiest jobs in the world with retail, where that's all you have to do. Seriously. And you're still doing the same job. That's sad. That's very sad. Anyways, let's move on, all right? Because we got a lot of stuff to get into. Like I said, we're going to talk about this real quick. With SOPA. Guys, SOPA has taken a huge hit. I mean, huge hit. All right. Now, we've seen all these companies come out, and it's not just, you know, Google or whoever, you know, because there were all the blackouts. No, 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 no. All right. It was also people like Screw Attack, Extra Credits, was it Major League Gaming? I mean, Epic Games. And I don't want to, you know, look, don't get happy about Epic Games. I got some news for you on that too today. All right. But a lot of people stepped up for this and was boycotting SOPA, all right? Now, for those who don't know, in the aftermath of things, you know, a lot of pressure was put on these congressmen. A lot of people start backing out. It's a good thing to see. They're going to shelve it, but guess what? It doesn't mean that it's dead. No, no, no. They're going to revise this bill, and they're going to try to bring it back out. And for what some of you guys told me on the fan page, they're looking at a February. They're aiming for February to try it again. We'll see what happens, though, okay? Now, I also want to say, don't forget that the PIPA thing and, the Protect IP Act, those are still around, all right? They are. And they're trying to revise other things as well. Guys, understand we are still under attack, but I do like to see all these people come together for one cause. Why stop there, though? Exactly. And we're going to talk about this today, all right? Because I have some news for you. We're going to start with, since some of you guys had said it last week, it was uncharacteristic of me to not start with EA. That's who we're going to start with today, all right? Now, unless you consider that SOPA thing, something to start out with. But, okay, EA. Now, for all you online pass supporters who keep saying, these companies, they need the money. I've been saying this for, almost 2 years now. They need the money. They're so poor. And I said, no, they don't. They're not poor. Well, EA has made over $1 billion in online passes and digital revenue in 2011. That's right. You still want to call that? You still want to say they're poor? Really? Is that what you want to do? Also, let's move on, because here's the sad part. Retailers say they may share revenue on pre-owned sales if publishers will drop the online pass. Now look, guys, retailers have been doing this for years, and we're talking 10 plus years, and there's never been a problem before. And yes, the technology gets better, and yes, they try to make big blockbuster games, but they're microwave games, all right? They are. But now all of a sudden it's a problem. For the retailers to say they may share revenue with them, you have to understand, that's giving the publishers what they want. Pretty much you're telling them they won. That's what you're doing. It's sad. It really is. You should stick to your guns. Just stick to them, all right? And I understand a lot of people will say, well, GameStop makes so much money off such and such, and they gouge you. What, you don't think they're not going to keep the same prices? Do you not think that? Yes, they're not going to lower their prices. So if you see a new game, and that's the thing. A lot of people like to bring up the new copy is only $5 more than the used copy. I'm not talking about stuff like that. Because, yeah, that's common sense. Buy for a new copy, you buy, for extra $5, you buy the new copy, all right? No one's not saying that. I'm not talking about that situation. I'm talking about situations where a game is actually $30, $25 used, as opposed to, say, $40, $45 new if it's, after it's been a couple months, or $50 it's been a couple months, all right? But if they come up with a greatest hit selection or whatever, it drops to 20, there's no point in getting a used game. All right, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about a $5 difference, no, because that's a joke. Sometimes if you go into the stores, you can see the used copy is actually more than the new copy, depending on how they price it. So yeah, I understand that as well. Like I said, GameStop will not change their policy when it comes to pricing, even if they give them a share of the pre-owned sales. They will keep the same pricing, so it doesn't affect them at all. Anyways, let's move on. Also, in more EA news, Mass Effect 3 PC players will be forced to join Origins to play their game in single player. That's right. Now, guys, this is absolutely ridiculous. Because, guys, if you read, links in the info bar, if you read the forums, EA answers questions and they lie straight to your face saying how it's not spyware. Now, like I said, we've seen the videos online. We've seen the reports online. All right, I've reported this type of stuff. I've shown you it. All right, and they're saying that it's not spyware. It won't hurt your stuff. Well, gamers in the actual forums, in the in that thread, provide the information where they were caught. So they're sitting here lying right to your face. Why support them? Why? Why aren't more people angry about this? I don't understand this. So you want companies to lie straight to your face. And one guy said it best, on the fan page. He said, I would respect them more if they would just be straight up with us instead of playing these cloak and dagger tactics. That's what it is. It's a bait and switch. And you have to understand that you can't let people lie to you. Do you like being lied to? I mean, seriously, and every day? Would you want your friends, because, that's what the companies try to say, their fans are their friends. Would you want your friends to lie to your face and then stab you behind your back? You wouldn't want that, but yet you still support them. Why? Because they got that crack game. That's what it is. At least it's the signs of an addict. You have to be kidding me. And I'm going to talk about this because there's more lockdown coming. Guys don't understand now. A couple weeks ago, we talked about Star Wars. And you guys have said, there was problems with glitching, and there was problems with, looting and things of that nature. And some of you guys sent me quite some serious stuff this time. And apparently, Star Wars is banning people for doing breakdancing moves. So people are being banned for that in Star Wars? Really? I mean, let's keep going because it says there is an update to this. It says that BioWare has apparently written Joystick. It says informing them that the email containing player participated in the abuse game mechanics to prevent NPCs from targeting the user and dancing is currently not permitted outside of the special dance zones. Dance zones? Really? In Star Wars dance zones? Look, I understand that in MMOs you're going to have your emotes, you're going to have your dances. I understand, but dance zones. Dance zones. Okay, anyways, it says it was faked by someone unaffiliated with the company. And that's what they're saying. However, gamers are saying a completely different thing because I've been reading on forums and they're saying, they are being banned for breakdancing during fights. I don't understand this. But you know what? There's even worse news about Star Wars because apparently there's a glitch that allows you to get tons of commendations from quests just by opening your mail. Now that is a serious exploit. That's really bad. Now look, I'm going to get into this because I have a ton of messages about this. All right, you fans have sent me a lot on this. Now it goes on. This gamer says, this bug allows you to get tons of commendations from Quest by simply not closing the mail with reward and just reopening it over and over. So if you keep opening up, they're going to keep giving you commendations, all right? Now, he did go on to say that he think it might have been patched already. I've talked to other gamers who have said it has been patched, and I've talked to other gamers who said it hasn't been patched. So, Star Wars fans, please comment and let me know. I have like 3 different stories going on here, all right? And like I said, that's not all right? He goes on to say they also ban people who farm gold. Not people who try to sell it, but just farm it. It's delivering punishment before crime happens. That's wrong. You can't do that. Unless there's a rule saying that you can't farm in general, you can't just start banning people out of nowhere, you know what I mean, because you think something's going to happen. That you can't do that. That's absolutely ridiculous. The company needs to clean this up. That's what they need to do. Now, I will go on and say this, all right? When you make these companies as big as they are, because that's what it's you fans. When you make these companies as big as they are, they can afford to get rid of you. When they have a small fan base, they will treat you like a king. But when you get masses of gamers, like I said, you become a number, and what happens? Well, we can afford to get rid of X amount of people. And because they'll think other people will come in and replace you. That's what they do. Like I said, the times of banning gamers, and of course there's exploits, you know what I mean? But you have to fix your game. You just have to. We talked about this week in and week out. I need to move on, all right? Because speaking of, you know, companies who just ban people, Epic Games, that's right. Epic Games bans a gamer for no reason. No reason. Now the link is in the info bar in the forum. Now look, let's get something straight here, all right? This guy goes on and says, I love Gears of War 3, all right? He said, but he's disappointed on the way the company has treated customers. He goes on to talk about the secrecy of the dedicated servers and things of that nature, and guess what? Banned. That quick. That quick. And gamers in the forum, they're just like, wow, he was banned. That's sad. That's completely uncalled for. And it's ridiculous. Don't you understand that places like Epic Games, all right, who sat here and fought against SOPA and said, we don't want you to shut us down. We don't, the internet, because of privacy. We don't want you to control everything, and censor us. They're doing censoring on their own. And I have to ask you fans, why do you keep going to official forums? They don't listen to you, all right? A lot of places, the developers are, they're not there, all right? There's some places that are there, but they do the same thing. Capcom, Ninja Theory, EA, Epic Games. Don't you understand that for just one day, because I'm telling you, if you can get all these people together and black out sites for SOPA, PIPA, whatever, all right, you can do it for forums too. You do realize that there's a lot of money tied up in forums. Hits, views, traffic. You do realize it's all part of the company. If you're so tired of these companies treating you like trash, because I've seen it time and time again, I was banned for not saying anything. My post was deleted. You know what I mean? And then what you do? You go and make an alternate account just to what? Get banned again, or you got IP banned. Why do you keep going back? If it's so bad, why do you keep going back? I don't understand this. These people are treating you like trash, and it's apparently okay to you. You're like a masochist. I don't understand this. Listen, for one day, I'm sure it's not going to happen, but for one day, if all those people, let's say Capcom in general, just example, all right, if all those gamers left their forums, that would damage their business. It would hurt their business. And you know what? People would say, Capcom like, oh, we must have did something wrong, we're sorry. They would go into a panic because it hurts their market value. You do understand this, right? But there's always going to be that one person, always one, that says, Capcom could do no wrong. I don't care how they treat me. I just want their games. And they're going to keep supporting it. That's why it won't work. It's amazing how we can sit up like this. Guys, you have to understand that little things like this, I understand SOPA was a big issue, so it affected a lot of people. But understand, when you have things like that happen, it's the little things like that that gives them the confidence to go bigger. You understand that, right? Guys, just stay off the official forums. It makes no sense. You complain about these companies, but yet you still go on their forums. You support, you still buy their games, even though they treat you like trash. Whatever. It's on you at this point. I'm tired of hearing it. And it's sad because all these places, like I said, they're so-called anti-establishment, like Ninja Theory, Devil May Cry. I'll talk about Devil May Cry later, all right? But they say that the game is going to be anti-establishment, yet they do their own censoring themselves. It's ridiculous. It's all these official forums. All of them. All right, that's what it is. But let's move on because we're going to talk about more bans. More. That's right. DCUO. Yeah, I know. DCUO. I've got a lot of messages from gamers, all right, about DCUO and their bans, about what's happened as of late. Now, for those who don't know what's going on, apparently there's a currency issue going on over there, all right? People are trying to sell exobits or whatever for a lot of money. Now, look, guys, for those that are on my friends list, it's maxed out right now. For those on my friends list, I come on to play DCUO maybe, once every 2-3 weeks maybe. I really don't care. You know what I mean? I help friends when they ask. That's the only time I go on. all right? But when you're flying around the city and you see the little box at the left and it says, I'm selling X amount of exobits for $5 million, why don't you come get it? You're hurting the economy in the game. You're hurting that economy. It's the same thing with auction houses back in the day where they would gouge them and then no one could buy anything because it was just too much, all right? But gamers have voiced their opinion, which is kind of odd on this because there's one, let's play this. There's 3 different opinions so far that I've seen, that I've talked to people, all right? And you have gamers who say it's not fair because, I put it like this, the hardcore fan base that's been there from day one throughout that year, they've seen so many exploits that come along and the company's done nothing about it, right? But now all of a sudden they want to do something about this exploit. They've banned people without any warning and it's unfair. That's what they say. There's another group that says, hey, they deserve it because they know what they're getting themselves into. They're exploiting things. They don't need a warning. Who cares? They should be kicked off the game for cheating, right? Then you have another side that says, hey, I understand both sides, their opinions, but you have to look at it from a company standpoint. They're so busy trying to sell you DLC, and we're talking about the Green Lantern pack, which is just a power for $10, right? Then you have the Lightning Strikes one, that's $10, but that actually gives you more characters, more, a power, and an actual city. So you're actually paying $10 for one power and $10 for an actual expanded city. Which one would you buy? Seriously. But that's not the point. They're so worried about selling you DLC, and with this new, this new crafting update coming up, update 8, that they're not fixing the problems in the games and the exploits. They should try to fix those problems to make it a better product. Now, understand, this is the same thing I said about Star Wars. And in every other, company, when you make them big, they can afford to just drop you. That's what it comes down to. And I know a lot of people are going to say, well, what are we supposed to do? If we want a game to stay alive, we have to make them big. Not necessarily. All right? Not necessarily. There's ways around that. We've seen that time and time again. There's games that are still around, or they'll put them on, dare I say, pirate servers, or there's always ways around things. That's why I said DRMs and things of that nature don't work that well, and I will get into that soon. But you have to understand, there's three different opinions on this issue. DCUO fans, let me know what's going on, because this is the majority of the opinions that I've received. All right. Now, like I said, I think the company needs to fix the problem. All right. Don't wait until, like I said, because a lot of people said they've had other exploits for months and months and didn't fix those, but this one they'll fix. I put it like this: stop banning gamers and fix your problem. Yes, those gamers are wrong, but if you don't, I put it like this: ban them temporarily. Ban them, make a statement. Ban them temporarily, and then fix your issues. All right? It's that simple. You just can't give them a warning, because just giving them a warning, yes, you're going to have, some that say, okay, they gave me a warning, I'm going to stop. But you're going to have also those who say, they gave me a warning, I don't care, I'm going to keep doing it. So I understand they got to do it in one swoop to send a message. But a lot of people are saying that SOE is out of the loop when it comes to their fans. Now, I want to move on. Ubisoft, or should I say Ubisoft, you PC guys, again, are taking it, man. Their DRM, the new DRM for this game, limits to specific hardware. That's right, and it's going on talking about how you can only change your graphics cards 3 times. That's right, change your hardware 3 times, and you lose your game. You can't play your game. That's right. Now look, PC guys, I understand how pivotal it is to keep changing and keep updating your graphics card. No one's saying that, you have to update your people are going to try to update their graphics card 3 times in a week. No one's saying that. But if you're buying this game and it's going to last you for years, of course you're going to update your graphics card for other games and other reasons. For them to put a limit on you for what you can do on your hardware is a joke. And they keep thinking that DRM is going to stop piracy because that's the whole point of around it. But no, it's not. Ubisoft, whatever, you've been targeting PC gamers for quite a couple months now. All right, you've said a lot of bad things about them, and you know what? You need to stop. Just stop, because this is going to get worse for you if you keep doing it. As soon as you come out with that game, if you don't drop this, I'm telling you now, they're going to pirate your game even more to prove to you that your DRM doesn't work. That's what they're going to do. You're giving them fuel. Just don't do it. Don't do it. It doesn't matter. Like I said, with all these games and all these companies that decide they want to put all these restrictions on it, gamers once again have stepped up. And if you haven't seen it yet at all, because a lot of you guys have sent me this video, if you haven't seen it yet, check out Super Mario Brothers Crossover. looks like a great game as far as I'm concerned. Anyone who's interested in the game, the link is in the info bar for you guys, so you can try to play it. Now, also for you PC guys, Dark Souls. That's right. There's a petition going around trying to get Dark Souls to the PC. I've said this before. I'll say it again. Platform games, cross-platform games, anybody on any platform should be able to get a chance to play great games. They should be able to experience these type of games. So I'm all for it, all right? Now, Resident Evil Revelations demo has gone live in Europe, all right? Also, Metal Gear Rising will be first playable at E3 2012. That's right. Now, Star Trek Online goes free to play this week. So all you Star Trek fans, go get your fix as far as I'm concerned. And more MMO news. EverQuest 2, EverQuest 2, the player count jumps 300% since going free to play. I'm telling you, have I ever steered you wrong on that? All right then. But also, there are some companies who feel free to play isn't the way to go. Namco Bandai comes out and says high quality, premium, free to play titles are not possible. Now, it depends on what their opinion is on high quality, because if we're just talking graphics, you can leave the graphics at the door, all right? There are plenty of games that have outdated graphics, that have great mechanics and great gameplay when it comes to free-to-play. You have to understand, that's what sells a game. If people are getting, I'll play this, if you were just excited for that Mario game, that Super Mario crossover, it goes to show you that graphics have nothing to do with it. It just goes to show you. But yet, this is their stance. This is not what gaming is about. It's not about giving you all these great graphics all the time. If you're a graphics whore, then guess what? You don't need to be playing a lot of games then if that's the case. If you really know your things on graphics and frames per second and things of that nature, no. You don't need to. And glitches and jaggies and things of that nature, you wouldn't be playing a lot of these games. But let's move on. And more MMO news, all right? Marvel Heroes, the MMO that everyone that I talked about this last year, actually, was it? No, we got some more news on it because apparently it will be using the Unreal Engine. That's right, and it will be PC exclusive so far. I don't know how well it's going to go. Personally, I think if you bring it to console and PC and cross-platform, this should almost be like, this should be a standard by now, all right? MMO should have cross-platform play, and they should be able to play it on every console and PC. All right, that's how I see it at this point. And for them to still make all these exclusives, it boggles me. You're actually limiting a fan base. Why would you do that? I'm just saying, why would you? Anyways, unless there's some type of contract that we don't know of, or some company won't let you put it on their console or something, we don't know. All right, but at this point, you really need to come out and give us more information on that issue than just say it's going to be PC exclusive and you're using Unreal Engine. I mean, it's an MMO, so using Unreal Engine won't be that big of a problem because you won't have to worry about the speed and how slow and things. This is an MMO. It doesn't matter. But anyways, unlike an action game. But let's keep moving on, all right? Amy developer, the game Amy, says that the game is just hard and not crap. And he's saying this towards all the people who have doubted this game. Now, I have a problem with this because for those who don't know, the game Amy got horrible ratings, all right? IGN gave it a 2.0, which I felt was a little low. Because if you're giving something a 2.0, that means the game is broken, it's unplayable, you can't finish it. That's what it means. It's done. That's not what this game is. You can finish this game from beginning to end. However, I put it like this. Many reviewers have trashed this game. Many of you gamers who bought it have trashed this game. And his response is, you guys just suck, pretty much. That's what he's saying. You gotta be kidding me. Look, when you come out with a game that's exclusive, I believe it's exclusive for PSN, all right? And you don't provide a demo, and then these people buy your game, and they feel it's trash, they feel they've been robbed of their money. All right, and I'm gonna talk about that later down the line because that's something that digital games have to do. If you're gonna try to push digital games as opposed to retail, you have to have a return policy. If the customer has not been fully disclosed or can't try something out, then guess what? Listen, in these days and times, that's what this is for. These networks. It's not like back in the day where you would have to go to Toys R Us or whatever, buy that Nintendo game off of just whatever. That's why they had magazines at the time. If you wanted to trust them, or you listen to word of mouth from a friend. All right, but when you have these type of systems, this new network set up, you can afford to bring out a demo. You can. And I'm really sad to see that they decided not to go that route. Like I said, people will just buy the game off of women they don't like it, now they're stuck with it. That's horrible. That's a joke. All right, I'll talk about that later down the line because it is a one-way cash system for only the developers, and it doesn't help the customers any. But I want to move on. right? Because developers still treat us like noobs. There's a nice little write-up in the info bar for you guys about this, all right? So as far as I'm concerned, it goes to talk about how, you know, the games are now being pushed out more to casual gamers instead of hardcore gamers. And of course, we know the divide between the hardcore and the casual, and they blame, you know, they blame the casual a lot for the games being dumbed down and things of that nature. But I want to move on, all right? Because for those who don't know, in sad news, Hudson closes completely. Yep, Hudson closes, but I want to rebound. I want to bounce back and give you a little bit of positive news. For those you probably already seen the title, Dead or Alive 5 has been announced. All right, so for those who are fans of that, go ahead. Now look, in Xbox news, you fans have sent me so much, news and complaints about the dashboard and how all it is adverts. Well, yes, there's a write-up about this, how it's all about adverts when it comes to the Xbox. We've seen this last year when they came out with that video where it was just, you know, selling you advertising and TV and stuff like that, and a lot of people didn't like that. It was towards companies, but a lot of gamers did not like to see that. I'll put it like this. You are paying for Xbox Live. Why do you have to go through all these adverts? Some of you guys are saying you're seeing advertisements before your games now. Like, you're paying for a service. They don't need to do this. This is extra revenue. This is greed. That's what this is. All right, but I want to move on. The creator of Art the Lad and Front Mission presents to you Dragon Art. Now, in the link to the info bar, there's screenshots of the game. Looks pretty good so far. We'll see what happens, all right? Also, Activision, you should know this was coming, announces Battleship. That's right. Now, you should know that this is going to come out when the movie comes out, and that movie looks horrible, all right? But seriously, Battleships against what was the trailer? Against aliens? Like, you should know how this is going to go. They're going to milk it for everything it is worth. But like I said, with all the companies trashing gamers, censoring gamers, you know, trying to tell gamers, hey, you can't do this or you can't make this game or whatever, there are some companies out there who want you to expand your creative ability. Sorry. And for those who don't know what I'm talking about, Sucker Punch, with their latest update with Infamous 2, gives you the ability to do comic boards now for their stories, for your created stories. Yeah, it's amazing.
Hi, I'm Colin, the community manager here at Sucker Punch Productions. In the most recent update for Infamous 2, we added a new feature allowing you to create your own comic book style 2D cutscenes. This is a great way to tell your own story within your mission. In this tutorial, I'll explain the basics of how to set up and modify a 2D cutscene. First, you'll need to place a cutscene shot node, which is located in the core logic pack. Once you have placed a node, you'll need to trigger the cutscene to start. This could be on a mission start, when you perform an action, or enter a volume. Now that we've placed a volume, we need to connect it to the cutscene shot node. With the logic for the cutscene to start, you can now begin building the scene. First, we will place the camera to define our shot. To do so, bring up the edit wheel for the cutscene shot node and select Edit Camera. You can move the camera around, as well as zoom and roll. To add a character or an object, select Edit Actor and Props. Once in this view, it will only show objects that are visible to the cutscene. Objects that glow red are currently not visible by the camera. With Cole now placed in the shot, you can apply a pose to him. Use Pose for Shot to give you access to a number of poses for each character and expressions to pick from. To help tell your story, you can add speech bubbles and captions via the cutscene shot node and selecting Edit. You can control the drawing styles of the captions to best fit your story. Ellipse, rounded rectangle, thought, and caption. You can change the visuals of your shot by editing the look option. Press the triangle button to preview. Dry gives you the same look as the game. Classic 1 gives you a comic book style filter. Classic 2 gives you a variation of the comic book style filter. Edgy makes all edges stronger. Tinted provides a separate tone style. Now that you've set up your first shot, you should test it out. Just go to the mission start node and select Play Mission. You can add multiple shots simply by adding a new cutscene shot node and connecting it to the first shot. Here's an example from Infamous Festival of Blood. Thanks for watching this tutorial on creating your own 2D cutscene. Join our community at suckerpunch.com for the latest news and support on Infamous 2 and UGC.
And good news, that's right, more gaming news. We have Stalker 2, that's right, it's going to continue its development. Now, for those who don't remember, about a month or so ago, they had said they were going to stop development, and gamers were getting ready to riot. Well, now you have nothing to worry about, gamers. It's back on. Now, also, Blaze Blue Continuum Shift Extend Limited Edition. I don't know how many times you keep giving these fighting games all these different editions has been revealed. It's getting tired. Now, also, a lot of you fans reached out to me not too long ago about this Zelda thing. Now, apparently, for those who don't know, there's been a problem with the timelines, and apparently now it has been fixed. However, Zelda's boss offers a giant disclaimer over the official series timeline, so that's in the info bar for you guys as well. In Sony news, they outline their future PlayStation technology. No, this is not the PS4 coming out. This is down the line, all right, where they're going to use 8K and 300 frames per second. That's right. That's what they're targeting right now. So that means PlayStation 5 or 6 is confirmed. Just letting you know. Now, let's keep going on, because there's a lot of analysts that say that they're going to drop out in next gen market. Them and Microsoft. Yeah, that's not going to happen. That's laughable. Now, let's keep going on. Square Enix announces that Gunslinger Stratos will be for Japan arcades, which is going to be pretty cool. Now, I need to talk about this. Let's get to the meat and potatoes, people. Capcom. I told you to talk about it later. Let's do this. Capcom explains potential future crossovers, especially CES 2011. There were 2011 plans, but it doesn't matter. Their future crossovers is what's going to get you. You know what, when they say future crossovers, you should know more milking. Also, Capcom says that Ace Attorney fans will be happy this year in 2012. Now, the question begs, will they? Because there's a possibility that Phoenix Wright will be getting a crossover game. It's possible. Now, also want to talk about this. Devil May Cry. I said I'd get to it. Let's get to this. First, I want to say I am so sick and tired of Devil May Cry. I want to say this now, all right, because I'm getting tired of all the things that I've seen as of late, within all the fighting. Like I said, I've talked about this last week. Like I said, every week there's new news about Devil May Cry. It's getting out of hand, all right? And fans don't know how to, control themselves. But this week, it's not the fans. No, it's not the fans. Whether you like it or not, it's not the fans this week. It's the media. That's right. For those who don't know, G4 came out and trashed Devil May Cry fans, saying, why are you still arguing about the hair? That's all you're mad about anyway. When we all know that's not what it's about, all right? But IGN comes out, and this is what bothers me. It's so unprofessional. Comes out and compares Devil May Cry to Nolan's Batman. That's right. And then says it will revitalize Devil May Cry. Now, let's get something straight here. If this writer would have said it could or it may revitalize, okay, that's fair. But to say that it will, that tells me a lot right there. And in the article, he goes on to trash gamers. All right, because the article it's a pro DMC article. All right, but he goes on to trash other people who aren't who are anti this new DMC. So it goes to show you that once again, anybody within a profession even who's for the new Devil May Cry has to resort to insulting people. That's what it comes down to. Where's the professionalism? Now I want to say this because this almost reminds me of DC Universe. It's actually taking all the steps of DC Universe. We're talking fan base getting rabid. Like I said, it's just a smaller fan base getting rabid. You have the press pushing this game like it's no tomorrow. Understand that G4 and IGN, they're in Capcom's pocket. We saw this with the Mega Man Legends thing, all right? They're in Capcom's pocket. They agree with Capcom on top of Capcom supporting SOPA, and now there's talk of IGN supporting SOPA because of the fact that News Corp, I've done this in a standalone video, that, News Corp owns IGN and Fox News, so they're not going to let them come out and say they're against it, all right? That's so far what I'm hearing. A lot of gamers are arguing about this on forums. So whatever that case may be, I don't know. All I'm saying is, I'm sick of Devil May Cry. I'm sick of how people are acting. It's pathetic. It really is. You gonna tell me that nobody can come to a healthy medium? Nobody? Really? Anyways, I have some good news for you guys, all right? So let's get into this, because remember I talked about the fighting tournament scene or whatever from over at Phoenix not too long ago? Check this out. The only thing we need now, this is what they sent me, the only thing we need now is a place to hold future tournaments, all right? Because apparently, like I said, that tournament was very successful, all right? They need to find somewhere to hold future tournaments. It says, we are looking to lending space from a local Mexican restaurant at the cost of buying some burritos and drinks. Understand, you have to start small. Unless you have some type of sponsors, you're going through everything that every other tournament that was built from the ground up is going through. That's what you're going through right now. So you're paying your dues right now. That's pretty cool. All right. It says the tournament itself was smooth and enjoyable. Some people were called out on using coward tactics, but the crowd took care of that. What did I tell you guys before? When you go into certain environments and you play certain ways, the crowd will get on you. All right, gamers will not have that. If you think you're just going to come out there and start cheesing people and start acting like a tough guy, in numbers, they will kick you out. That's what happens. And this is the difference between people who actually go and play these games, in person, and others who just decide they want to play, Mr. Tough Guy on the internet playing fighting games and think that they can do whatever they want. There's rules to this type of thing. But let's keep going. It says, as far as the point system goes, I'd say we're at least a couple of tournaments away from doing it. It says, I like to ease people into playing fair by slowly adding rules each time. That's not bad. Because like I said, there was times when you got into tournaments, they would switch rules on you from round by round. So, yeah, I don't have a problem, but I think that's pretty cool. Now, that's on the fighting tip. Now, another gamer sent me something. He wanted to know my opinion on this, which is really cool. It says he's trying to start his own console gaming room while going through his last year of high school. All right, now apparently this guy's been doing a lot out in Texas. He's been warning people about SOPA. He's been telling his neighborhood and everything, and they're against it as well. So he's doing a lot of things right now. It says, I will soon be finishing a documentary about trying to spread more console gaming rooms for people to have a place to call home and make new friends as well. Please send me that documentary. I'll put it on the show. Seriously, like I said, it's about gamers helping gamers. It says, I want to know what your opinion on the bills and also my idea about console gaming houses and running tournaments from this too. Understand this, all right? Console gaming rooms and even having gaming houses and things of that nature have been done for a long time. I don't have a problem with it. All right. The more places that people have a chance to meet up and become friends and actually interact with people offline, the better. That's how I see it, all right? Like I said, anyone can act like an internet bully online and act like an idiot because they're miles away. You can't touch them. But when you're in front of somebody, and I know you are not acting like that, all right? Over some video games. You know that and I know that. So I'm not trying to hear it, all right? But like I said, it is a great start. I think that what you're doing is great because of the fact that, come on. You're actually going outside and you're alerting people what's going on. You're actually trying to get groups together. You're doing something. The same thing with the guy from Arizona. He's doing something. Instead of other people sitting on their ass, and saying, he can't do this, he can't do that, you're actually doing something. And that means more to me and many others than the other people. Like I said, they can sit on a forum and judge you all you want. That doesn't mean anything. That's how I say it. Seriously, you're doing a great job. Both of you guys are doing a great job. I applaud you for it. Seriously, it goes to show you how proactive you can be. Now, I'm done with this for the day. I don't need this. Anyways, guys, I just want to say it's been a good week. As you can notice, I'm pretty much tired, but it doesn't matter. I'm still here. I'm still doing this. I'm still working on it. A lot of you guys have been asking me about the documentary. Yes, I'm still doing it. It's just there's been a slight delay because all the companies that have said that they would give me interviews, they wait till I get to the interview and then cancel on me. They don't even call me ahead of time and let me know, no, we're canceling. I'll get there to their desk and say, oh, well, they're not going to, participate in the interview, and they decide to drop it completely. So they have me going from place to place to place, going miles away, wasting my time for this. So now I got to find a different way around it. It's still coming. Give me time. Trust me. All right, guys? Just saying. I just want to say, gamers, keep doing what you're doing, but pay attention to what these companies are doing. There's no reason why you should be disrespected as a person, as a customer who pays them money just for play a game. That's ridiculous. I've said this time and time again. I don't think I really need to say it every time, but you guys know what's up. Control yourselves. If you get banned, don't go back. That's simple. They don't. If they can't, appreciate you for what you are, then they don't deserve you, and you don't need them. I've said this before. The way Capcom is acting right now, like I said, I will do this in a standalone video. The way they are acting right now, they don't have to worry about me buying any of their products until there's a changing of power, of the guard, we'll say. All right? Then that goes for Mega Man, that goes for Monster Hunter. You have no idea how big of a Monster Hunter and Mega Man fan I am, but I will walk away from it because of the fact that I have the previous titles to keep me held over. That's what it comes down to. Like I said, these companies do not rule you. That's the difference between life and gaming, all right? It is a hobby. It is a culture. But you do not, by any means, sacrifice your integrity just because they want to bring out the next Street Fighter, the next Resident Evil, the next Gears of War, you know what I mean? The next DC Universe, the next Star Wars. you do understand what I'm saying. I really hope you do understand what I'm saying. All right? It's just not called for. Because at the end of the day, once you turn off your game and you turn off your computer and everything, that's away. You're away from it. It's time to deal with real life now. That's what it comes down to. And that's why the community stays together, because we know we have to respect each other as adults. Because like I said, a lot of people want to be respected as adults, but they don't want to act like them. And it's going to show you in the developers and the companies and all this stuff. It's the same thing over and over again. It's just, like I said, gaming journalists, same thing. They're not acting like adults. You know, I remember when journalism was supposed to be unbiased. You know, you just called it down the middle. And then you let everyone else who you want to, you know, to comment, you know, they'll pick a side. Not these days. They'll just do whatever. They're pretty much baiting you. That's what they're doing, but it doesn't matter. You know what? I'm done for today. I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all have a good weekend, man. Y'all be safe. I'm out.
I've begun my voyage in a paper boat without a bottom. I will fly to the moon in it. I've been folded along a crease in time, a weakness in the sheet of life. Now you've settled on the opposite side of the paper to me. I can see your traces in the ink that soaks through the fiber, the pulped vegetation. When we become waterlogged and the cage disintegrates, we will intermingle. When this paper aeroplane leaves the cliff edge and casts parallel vapor trails in the dark, we will come together.